don't know. Are you, if you're a man, of course, are you bald, muscled, pot-bellied, skinny? I don't know in which category you fall. I think I'll be finding out from Kofi Hayford, who joins me in the studio, about in which category he thinks I fall. But it's all about the fifth installment, the fifth season of BMPS. If you've never caught it on Joy Prime, you've been missing out a big time. And we have the host right here in the studio. I see you put yourself under the P category, which is the pot-bellied category.
Some people say I would actually also fit for the role of the bald. But really, I have hair. Charlie, can't you see? Can't you see, like...
Let me see the hair again. Let me
come on. You want to touch it?
No, let me turn to the side.
Like
let me
this?
See something. Okay, we can make a case for you.
Yeah.
We can make a case
I don't
for
exactly qualify to be bald.
Okay.
Maybe in the next 10 years, but not
in
now.
the next 10 years. But he is host, Kofi Hayford is host of the BMPS show. How did this, I'm just curious. I know what went into this, but this is a boys, men show. Tell us about it.
Conversation. Shouts to Victor Brache.
Okay.
Victor is in London now, but he came up with this very brilliant idea of having an all-male panel talk show. It's a lifestyle show that focuses on talking about everything from social issues to religious issues to financial issues to politics to everything, but from a very light perspective and also from a male's, point of view.
Okay.
So women are
It's just like when boys meet, right?
What do they talk about?
What do we talk about?
Everything that men talk about. Okay. Everything that men talk about, when they meet. Right. And when I say this, what I mean is there are certain conversations that we do have in private which people think should not be had outside.
Right.
So these are some of the conversations that we have. And I like the fact that you just spoke to, because one thing that I've always said on almost all the seasons is that people say bemensu, right? Men are expected to water down their true feelings. But how do we really feel about issues? So we created this haven, safe haven, for men to discuss everything off the top of their chest. To vent everything.
Okay.
So that's what we do on the BMPS.
I'm not going to let you run away from this. Before we get into, season 4 was mind-blowing, exciting.
Right.
I don't know what you have in store for us in season 5. But when you look at me, I'm just wondering whether I would fit anywhere on your show. Bald? No. Muscled? I don't know whether you would say that I'm necessarily
we might
muscled.
Okay.
I say my guy working out.
Because I know you used to have, some really broad chest. But yeah, you're not bald, you're not muscled, you're not pot-bellied, and you're not really skinny as well. But let me tell you what, you still qualify to be on the show, and that's one good thing that season 5 is introducing.
Okay.
We have decided that there are also men who do not necessarily fall in these categories of men that we have, talked about. And so we're going to have them as guests on the show in season 5.
Wow.
So you qualify to be on the show.
So we're breaking ground.
Yes.
I can come on board.
Yeah, you can. In fact, I'm giving you an official invitation to be on the BMPS show season 5.
Hook me up one of these days. I'll show up.
I will.
We'll do our thing.
I will. So
there's clarity on who I am. So as a man, I'll show up.
I know.
But then, what are going to be some of the hot topics you're going to be discussing in season 5?
It's interesting.
Because boys there, we never like topics to talk about.
So I've been thinking about it, because then I was asking myself, Charlie, this is morning TV. Do you want to discuss some of the things that you really want to discuss when you meet? But even before we go into what we're going to be discussing in season 5, in season 4, for example, we're asking, will you agree to an open relationship with your partner?
For where?
So
open for where?
And then we also discussed a man who is into his looks. Do you just call him flashy, or you think it's self-care?
I think it's borderline, right? There are some people who are so in love with themselves, it's dangerous. It's called narcissism. Then they love love themselves too much. And that is always to the detriment
of the other person.
Others. Right. So I think it's borderline. It depends on loving yourself. Look, as a man, you must look trim. neat, smell good, and all of that. What he has here.
You are getting into it.
Else, if you are not,
this is not a BMPS show. Relax.
This is what he has here.
Relax when you come on it.
But some do go. I mean, we all see them from time to time. You see this one, it's like, Charlie, this guy, why?
You know they go well.
Why? Yeah, I feel lip sign crowd. Why? Just say, why? Get who be. All that day inside.
I know.
All that day inside.
So, for example, for the premiere of season 5 tomorrow, we're looking at what do men really consider before popping the big question to be a woman.
Will you marry me?
Will you marry me? What do we really look out for?
Give me one thing you will look out for. Or
Catch me tomorrow on the premiere of the BMPS Show.
This guy's playing. He's playing very safe on this bit. I see.
AI is something that has popped up, right? I mean, students these days are using AI. And sometimes
some are getting caught.
Yeah. I mean, it's not about getting caught. For one, if you want my very personal view, it is great. It's such a great tool to use in school, right? But I also think it's making a lot of our colleagues in school very, very lazy. So, AI in today's world, is it a friend or a foe?
Okay.
It's something we're looking at in season 5.
And boys will know.
Boys will know.
Because boys are doing stuff.
Exactly.
Charlie, I'm loving this already. I should take a seat.
You should. No, to be very honest. Okay, so we're going on set actually tomorrow to film other episodes. We've already started shooting. So, yeah, I mean, we can have you if the time works best for you.
Let's see how it goes. Yeah. But let's talk about sponsorship. I mean, these shows usually come with a lot of pressure, financial pressure, logistical pressure. We need the backing of some entities.
That's true.
Let's shout out those that are helping us.
So, shouts, first of all, to Joy Prime. Because, of course, without Joy Prime, there is no BMPS Show. So shouts to Joy Prime, shouts to Emily and the entire team, to our producer, Brenda, IB, and all the technical guys. Shouts to them. We also want to say special shouts to Johnny Walker. Keep walking. And I like their tagline because then every time we go on the BMPS Show, we're reminded that regardless of whatever we're going through, you need to keep walking. It doesn't matter how difficult it gets. Do not stop. Keep walking. And so shouts to Johnny Walker, especially their Black Label Big Bold flavor. They are actually helping us to come your way with it. I also want to say shouts to Jakarta Fashion because, well, throughout the season, they will be clothing me for almost all the 13 episodes.
I like the way it was communal and then all of a sudden it became individual.
Charlie.
I know, right? I see.
Yeah.
And you've already mentioned, but you're having some guests pass through the season,
we will have some
special guests.
I mean, I'm sure that we would want to have you. So if you can make the time, just pass through. Let's have a conversation.
But just clarify, I know there's been a change in airing time.
Yes. There's been a change in airing time. I'll touch on that just briefly. But before that, let me also announce that we will be having replacements for some of the characters.
Okay.
Right? Just so we can have diversity in opinions.
A refreshing look.
Exactly, a refreshing look. So, for example, in one of the episodes, you're going to see maybe just 3 of us without Nanye, and then at other times you see Nanye, then at other times we'll have a replacement for Possible or Molded Rock. There is one guy called Eric Ntiamwa who has very interesting views. He will also be on the show. So we will be, I mean, I don't know, if you grow a little bit of pot belly, maybe you can replace me for an episode or 2. But yes, the airing time used to be on Fridays.
Right.
Now there is another brilliant show on Fridays by KMJ. On a more serious note, shouts to KMJ and Martin and the entire team. So now BMPS has been moved to Thursdays.
Okay.
9 p.m. And the great news, ladies and gentlemen, is that it's no more 30 minutes. We heard your cry. The conversation gets very interesting, and just when it's peaking, we close the show because it's time. So now we have extended it to an hour. So you have all the time to digest all the conversations that we bring on board. Wow. There are 2 more things that we're introducing. Please note it down. We're coming up with the Boys Code of the Week.
Okay.
Boys Code or the Bro Code of the Week.
Okay.
What's that one thing, that motivation that men need to keep going and never stop? We're going to do that. And then also this time we're going onto the streets, do a vox pop, and find out exactly what people think about the issues that we are going to be discussing on the BMPS show. So what do men really think about, or what do they consider before popping the big question? Right. You'd hear from the streets. What do people think? And the views and opinions of the people, my goodness. I wish we could use only that for the show. Very interesting views. Very, very, very interesting.
So you're going to be doing more viewer interaction.
Yeah, of course.
On the streets and all of that.
And then
not just you guys sitting in the studio.
Not just us. No, we want it
right.
to be all inclusive. Right. So we are also doing, in season 5, we've started doing polls on social media to find out what you think, right? And read your comments and what have you. We're doing all of that.
You've sold it on me. Just in some 30 seconds, encourage our viewers to come along.
All right. So before I encourage you, let me also say a big thanks to the entire cast. I'm talking about myself. Shouts to me. Shouts to Possible, Nanaya Possible representing the skinny. Shouts to Oliver Molded Rock representing the muscled, and of course to our brother Nanye Kofi, who is representing the bald. And shouts to all the men, all the brilliant men who will be on the show for season 5 of the BMPS show. Please, if you haven't caught it before, for the uninitiated, the bald, muscled, pot-bellied, and skinny show, that's what BMPS represents. And we look at things from a man's perspective. So even if you're a woman, please, you are the ones that actually need the show. Just come into our world and understand everything that we say and everything that we think about with regards to issues. It's on Thursdays at 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. It's premiering tomorrow, the 18th of April 2024, 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. I want to say a big thanks to the entire team. ID, Brenda, Marie, Livia, Nanaya, all our social media guys, and all the technical team, Azu and the like. And shouts to Samuel McCaffrey as well. And shouts to you.
Kofi, thanks for coming. One of these days I'm going to surprise you.
Really
it's all about BMPS 5th season premiering tomorrow. Studios of Joy Prime, 9 to 10 p.m. You want to catch that. Even if you're not bald, muscled, pot-bellied, or skinny, come along. You just might find something interesting. We'll be right back on the AM show.